Okay, so let's talk about mental toughness around the law of attraction. This has been around for a long time. They've been talking about the law of attraction in one form or another, philosophers, for at least a couple of thousand years that we have documented in some way, shape, or form. But what really popularized this, I think you could make a case for, at least, is the movie The Secret. Now, just as a disclaimer, I was not in the original movie The Secret. I was in the follow-up movie, the sequel, called Beyond The Secret. just so you know. But I had a lot of my friends. I knew almost everybody in the movie The Secret, and I thought it was actually a very good movie, and I liked the law of attraction piece and everything. Here's where, and I think when you have to look at it through the lens of mental toughness and critical thinking, where the law of attraction breaks down. Well, let's talk about first where it really works. I think we'd all probably agree at some level, if you're in personal development or a positive thinking movement of any kind, you probably agree that when we think thoughts of gratitude and happiness, and we surround our mind with in our lives with loving people that support us and that kind of thing, well, then we tend to get more of what we put out into the world. We tend to attract people like us, for one, and we try to open up opportunities because our attitudes are, our attitude is in the right spot, and all those kinds of things. So there's no question about there's a level of the law of attraction. Then you go into the vibrational frequency piece. My old late dear friend Bob Proctor and I used to have conversations about this. We had a running conversation about the law of attraction for 25 years, and we agreed on some parts and we disagreed on others. Of course, Bob was one of the stars of The Secret. I would say the star of The Secret. If you ask me, I think he was the most powerful person in there, but certainly a lot of good people. But Bob, in my opinion, we where we differed was where it ended. Where does the law of attraction end, and basically just sort of made up wishful thinking begins. The way I used to say it to him was there was a part in the movie The Secret where someone said in The Secret, someone I knew actually said that if you think about a parking place, an open parking place, and you're driving around a parking lot looking for a parking spot, if you think about it, it'll manifest in the physical plane. Okay, that's just nonsense. That's just not true. And that's the only reason I really want to talk about this, because I really do believe in the law of attraction. Where I think it breaks down is when people push it too far. They give it credit for things that can't really take credit for. Okay, like opening up a parking spot, like a car is going to move, physically move out of the way because you're thinking about you need an open place to park your car. Obviously, that's ridiculous, and that doesn't work. And people take things too far in personal development. I mean, as the president and founder of the International Personal Development Association, I can tell you that I obviously believe in personal development, but it can be taken too far. And that's when it loses credibility, and that's always the problem. that happens in a lot of areas, And so that's really the breakdown, in my opinion. On the vibrational frequency part, Bob Proctor and I, again, had a running conversation about this, and I love the way Bob used to put it. He'd say, think of it as a radio station. You've got a vibration level on a radio station, a vibrational level that you're vibrating at. Let's say you're angry. Well, everything that you're angry about or been angry about in the past comes up when you're in that vibrational frequency. And when you're happy, things you're happy about come up, and you seem to attract thoughts into your mind based on the frequency in which you're currently residing. Vibrational thought frequency. I don't think you could debate. I don't think you could dispute that. That just works. I mean, just pay attention in your own life. When you're angry, you get more angry thinking about more angry things. When you're happy, you think more about happy things. So the law of attraction does work on a vibrational level. There's no question. The only breakdown, in my opinion, and this is where mental toughness comes in, is it's only capable of doing so much. When the law of attraction turns into wishful thinking, when things that money's not going to fall out of the sky, you're not going to cure cancer with it. You're not going to do these things that some people push it. They just push it too far. But in their defense, I used to work in the chiropractic industry as a speaker all over the country, all the U.S. And there were a fair amount. There was a segment of chiropractors in the country that thought chiropractic was the cure for everything, cancer. Everything. There still are people out there like that. Obviously, there's absolutely no scientific proof to back any of that up. I totally believe in chiropractic. I've been going to a chiropractor my whole life. I know thousands of chiropractors literally from speaking to them all over. They buy my books, my products, and that kind of thing. And I love chiropractic, but it's only capable of so much. Another example are conspiracies. Right now, all these political conspiracy theories, all these crazy people are coming out of I don't know where they came from, but everything now is a conspiracy. 9/11 was a conspiracy. COVID's a conspiracy. Dr. Fauci is the worst person in the world. He's trying to take over the world. Bill Gates, he's trying to take over the world. It's like, I don't know where these people get this stuff from, but there's no data or evidence to back it up. That's the problem. If you're going to make an extraordinary claim, you better produce extraordinary evidence or you look like a quack. And we got a lot of people looking like quacks. Now, are there conspiracies that have happened? Of course. Same thing. But is everything a conspiracy? No, it's ridiculous. If you can't back it up with evidence, you don't have anything. And there's a lot of people out there that do this with the law of attraction. They do it with chiropractic. They do it with conspiracy theories and a lot of other things. But you get the point. So I guess just to wrap this in a bow, in mental toughness training, I really believe in the law of attraction. I really believe that what you say impacts the results you get and the people you attract and the opportunities all that stuff. I'm 100% into it. And that's where it begins and that's where it ends. When it turns into wishful thinking, it's not only unsupported by data and science, but it's dangerous. Because you start thinking, when law of attraction becomes wishful thinking, you start thinking things are going to happen that really have all of a sudden now it's a faith thing. You're just believing in things that that have no evidence, but because you feel good about believing in them, and that can be very dangerous. You can make a lot of moves in your life that can hurt you, that can hold you back, because you're doing things without evidence to back them up. And while the law of attraction may not have hardcore scientific evidence, it sure has thousands, and if not hundreds of thousands of case studies to support the idea that who we are, how we talk, how we interact with the world literally impacts our results. There's a lot of case studies to back that up. So I'm all for law of attraction as long as it's kept within the confines of the research that supports it. Thanks for watching.